first 10 seconds, they're always the hardest. Well, here it is. Obviously, this is a huge part of my maintenance. And although the science-backed evidence on ice baths or cold plunge, it's pretty hit or miss, I have found some really unique things that I've loved about it. And so I'm going to get into what I've found, what others have found, and what I think has worked really well for me in my maintenance routine. So there's 3 major things that I do for my maintenance. 1, mobility. 2, these ice baths. And 3 is my strength routine. Mobility is something I've simply just neglected for 36, 37 plus years of my life. And now that I'm getting closer to the big 4-0, having a history of back injuries, it's something I just can't skip anymore. Part of the workouts that I do are some type of back bend, like an upward facing dog, also a downward facing dog, some type of hamstring stretch. The other thing that I do is some type of lunge with a twist. I will do some type of thrust, hip thrust, whether it be side to side, whether it be front to back to loosen up the hip flexors and things like that. And those are just a couple of the things that I do on a regular basis. Like I said, probably around 10 to 15 minutes a day of mobility. But what I have found is it's really just making the first miles a lot easier and not having to be as built into as a warm-up. Secondly, obviously, you can see my ice baths. I have absolutely loved them. I didn't start with this massive contraption. I actually just had a super cheap tub that I was dumping ice in to see if I wanted to do it and be consistent. And I absolutely love it. And yes, you can look at science-based evidence that either is saying it's unproductive, oftentimes counterproductive. You can look at science-based evidence that says it's productive and helps, or you can look at the industry of the people who make the ice baths who say it can do absolute wonders and crazy things. But there's 2 major things that I have found since I've started ice bathing for several months now. Number 1 is my sleep has significantly improved. I do these, as you can see, it's dusk here now, about 60 to 70 minutes before I go to bed. And I'm not sure if it's the cooling down of the body, the mental relaxation that it gives me, but I just find that I sleep significantly better after I ice bath. I measure this based upon like how I sleep on the days that I don't. And so to me, that's super valuable and super important. The other thing that I've noticed is I've done 100K, several 50Ks, a half marathon training block, and now I'm building back up for a marathon. And I'm not having near as many niggles in like slight pains since I've been doing this than I did before. And to me, that's a huge benefit, is just to feel better every single day. And so that's one of the main reasons why I will keep doing it, is those 2 things. If you're gonna do it, start small, start cheap, do it with the ice packs and the ice bags to see if it's worth it before you spend some money on something like this. Next week, I will get into the strength-based training that I do for my maintenance, but as I said, mobility, ice baths, and strengths, about 20, 25, 30 minutes a day max, and I'm feeling significantly better. So into this week's training, I was able to take a family vacation down to Mexico and enjoy some nice beach time with the family. Was able to get a trail run in, but I will say the fartlek workout on Wednesday suffered, as I definitely had some vacation legs. 70 total minutes, 10 times 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Paces were a little bit slower than I'd like, about 6 minutes to 5:45-ish. But when you're doing it on the side of a pretty busy highway in a foreign country, you take what you can get. Was I stoked with the workout? No. Happy I got it in on vacation? Absolutely. Saturday, totally different story. 17 miles, first 14 progressive, getting down to 5:47 on the last mile, and it just felt so easy. This is now 3 weekends in a row of solid long runs and feeling really, really good. The 5:47 at mile 14 felt so smooth and so relaxed. I'm excited to see what happens as my mileage increases and my paces continue to pick up as well. As you can see, the coldness is kind of taking my breath away. On to next week, where I'll talk about my strength training, and got another little trip coming up. We'll be training in the Pacific Northwest. Take care. See you next week.